ankle injuries. Also worth noting, offensive coordinator Jason Garrett should be back in the mix. He tested positive for COVID-19, but should be back in action for the Giants. Marcus, Daniel Jones is the starter. Does it matter against the Ravens?
Nope, not one bit. I told y'all that man, Lamar Jackson, playing with his back against the wall is probably the worst possible situation any team could face. This is going to be about the Baltimore Ravens. We talked about their offense not being sufficient, talked about the passing game and the things they need to do to evolve. Lamar Jackson has literally said, I'm going to be the best player on the field. I'm going to do whatever it takes for us to win. And I'm going to remind everybody why I was the league MVP last year. And that's what he's been doing the past couple weeks. We're starting to see just a playmaker making plays. And then, too, people forget, like Daniel Jones is not 100% healthy. And we just can't blip off the Ravens defense. They get after it too. They make plays as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Ravens continue to play like a dog that's being attacked by a bunch of them, and they just fighting their way out, and they got the big dog in Lamar Jackson.
Marcus, it's a wrap, man. Why are you even wasting your time having a conversation about the Giants? The Giants had their opportunity.
I know
when they made the decision to go with Colt McCoy, or go with Daniels instead of Colt McCoy, that was a wrap. I know. They went out to Seattle. They beat the Seahawks. Woo, woo, woo. I get it. Man, it's a wrap, man. It's not even close. The Ravens doing exactly what they need to do, what their formula is, run the football and play defense. Anybody that think that the Giants got a shot, and I know you probably think that way, Dan, you need to go get checked.
He thinks that way. Go ahead, Dan.
Maybe they don't even need to go make the trip, according to y'all. Like, listen. I get it. The Ravens are a good football team. I think the Giants defense will have a better plan than the Browns and the Jaguars did, right? We all came on television and said, what were the Browns doing? Right? So, I think the Giants defense can match up well. If you look at this rush defense, which is obviously something that Baltimore wants to specify in or dominate in, this is a top, 5 or 6 run defense. They're giving up less than 100 a game. This has become a stout unit. And so, Baltimore is going to have to do something other than run the football. They've started to become a first, second, and third down run team. 3rd and 6 the past 3 weeks. They'll hand that thing off. So I get your guys' point, looking at it from just, oh my gosh, it's the Ravens versus the Giants. They'll put up a good test.
I'm not looking at it. Hey, Dan, I'm not looking at it from that, man.
Joe Judge this week. Joe Judge this week was
as bad as the Ravens offense is right now. I mean, in terms of throwing the football, think about who they're going up against, though, man. What, you act like the Giants over there with the greatest show on turf pushing the ball down the field. And Lamar Jackson is on fire right now. Come on, stop, Dan. Stop.
But Key, that is my point. If you watch the Cardinals game when they played the Giants, that game was the score wasn't indicative of it. There was two in their own end zone.
That offense the Cardinals is working with is not even close to the running game in the power that they got over there in Baltimore. Man, stop. I know you like Kyler Murray. I do too, but stop it.
It's a top 5 run defense in the NFL.
Yeah, when I'm stopping people 6 yards down the field, I just saw a clip where they had the guy fumble. He ripped off 30-some yards and he fumbled late. Man, stop.
Keyshawn, they give up less than 100 yards on the ground a game over 15
That's because
days.
They haven't played against the Ravens, man. Stop.
Hold on. Can I insert?
Go ahead, Marcus.
Can I insert into the conversation? Because I'm 100% with Keyshawn. Dan, I get it. But weren't the Pittsburgh Steelers #1 against the run when they faced the right? You know this run game. It don't matter where you rank that.
10 weeks ago.
Either you going to protect the perimeter or you going to get your head bust. Both of the Browns had a plan to contain Lamar Jackson. They couldn't execute it, though. Because he's went back to his original self.
Right.
I'm going to leave it at that.
I love it. Hey, guys, this is the other thing. If you want the most NFC East stat ever, well, they're guaranteed to have a champion with a non-winning record, just the 6th time that's ever happened. But if you think they have no chance whoever's going to win the NFC East, each of the past 4 times that's happened, that team went on to win a playoff game. So watch out. Probably be Washington. All right, Adam Schefter back here for our DraftKings plays of the day. Adam, you got some running backs to focus on, starting with Leonard Fournette.
Well, Laura, Ronald Jones already ruled out of Sunday's game or Saturday's game whenever Tampa Bay plays. All the days blend together at this point in time. And so Leonard Fournette is going to be the Buccaneers' workhorse this weekend when Tampa Bay plays Detroit. Fournette would make a lot of sense here to be active in the fantasy world, in the fantasy community, if you need a running back with Ronald Jones out. Tony Pollard last week really shined through with Ezekiel Elliott inactive, and Zeke got limited work in practice, but you have to wonder if Dallas is going to step forward and play Zeke with where they are at this point in the season. At the very least, you know Tony Pollard's going to be involved, and we'll see whether Zeke is active. And of course, James Robinson's being rested during practice this week in Jacksonville, which could open the door for Devine Ozigbo, who's battled hamstring injuries throughout the course of the season. But as a running back, the Jaguars like. If James Robinson doesn't play, don't be surprised if Devine Ozigbo is featured or gets a lot of work on Sunday.
You know, I got to say, with a larger sample size here, I've decided it's the hat for me, Adam, that I like the most. It really is a nice touch.
Yeah, and Laura, one other note. George Kittle is expected to play this week. It's not going to be in a full-time role, but the 49ers are going to get him back here in Week 16.
Huge for them. Hey, coming up on NFL Live, to finish with just over 25 fantasy points against the Packers. That's the third most among running backs this week. Henry looking to win back-to-back rushing titles for the first time since LaDainian Tomlinson did it from 2006 to 2007. That's what you should be looking for with your fantasy lineup. So, Dan, these two teams in the Titans and the Packers have a lot of similarities. They're kind of like mirror images of each other. What do you think will keep this game tight?
Third downs. You know, what quarterback performs best on third down? You said it. They're very much so mirror images of each other. You know, run the football early on in the game, play action pass, try to get the lead, and then really let that run game dominate. And so I think both teams can do that. But what quarterback plays their best on third down will go a long way to determining who's going to win the game. Because 2 or 3 more third down conversions is going to give you another 6-7 minutes of time of possession. Both these teams excel at that. And so I think both run games will be good units. And both quarterbacks will have really good success in their play action game. But who can play the best in the drop back game? Listen, I know everybody's going to come on and talk about, all right, Green Bay, like, show me your run defense can finally do it. I'd say the same thing about the Titans. You know, they're 10-4. Show me that your pass defense can somehow make a stop.
Yeah, Dio, for me, it's styles, man, right? Like, it's almost the boxing analogy. Styles make fights. And whoever takes precedence first, I believe, is the ones that are going to win. And to your point, like we say it all the time, the Tennessee Titans should run the football, Derrick Henry, and bleed clock and keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline. But I want to add something to that. They better score touchdowns. Because when Aaron Rodgers gets it against what we've seen this pass defense be that you mentioned, he is definitely going to score a touchdown. So I'm looking forward to seeing the plan with the Titans. I don't think they have to go into this game saying we want to give Derrick the ball 40 times. We want to give Derrick the ball enough to pound and punish the Green Bay defense, to make these linebackers pay attention to it, and then give A.J. Brown and Davis a shot over the top. One of the matchups I'm really intrigued to see this weekend more than most is Jair Alexander when he's matched up against A.J. Brown potentially. So it's a lot of things that needs to transpire in this game, but I want to see